Greetings. So today I want to talk about fear. What is fear? There are levels of fear. If we had zero fear, none of us would make it to adulthood. Fear keeps us alive. That's an instinctive fear. We all need that to a degree. I think it starts when you're about 3 or 4 years old. You know, a 6-month-old kid would crawl right off the edge of a balcony on a high-rise building. But a 3 or 4-year-old wouldn't, unless he slipped. So as we get older, we develop an essential fear of things that could kill us. You know, speed, height, deep water. But there's other kinds of fear too. You know, there's a fear that I believe is the #1 obstacle to personal development. And I always think about something that really hit home to me about, I don't know, I'd have been about 18 then. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. Let's dissect that for a moment. But I guess there's another way of saying that would be the thought of what might happen is nothing to be afraid of. Facing fear is the secret to losing it, to sit with it. I tried to imagine once how I would feel, really, if I got captured by a rival gang and was going to be tortured and executed, or was about to be eaten alive by a grizzly bear. Of course, the thought of the pain would be the focus, but I thought it would be over soon, and who knows, maybe I could will myself out of my body a bit early. I don't know, due to my lifestyle and my 9 years of traveling around Europe with everything I own on my back and never knowing what tomorrow would bring, today I'm totally fearless. I've had no health insurance, never have had. I have no money. Maybe I could raise 400K at a push. Yeah, I never worry, period. I've eliminated worry from my psyche. It has no place in my life and never will. Taking risks. Taking risks should be a balance, you know. You gotta look at the risk and reward, and you need to analyze that. You know, well, okay, what's the worst that could happen here, and could I deal with that, and how could I avoid that? And trying not to let the negative cloud your judgment. And if you decide it's worth the risk, then go for it, 100%. Then there's another fear. And this is a fear that most of us actually have. The fear of death. Most people have a fear of death, with the notable exception of those who've had OBEs or NDEs. And to lose your fear of death, I've got to tell you, it's truly liberating. I wrote my latest book, Consciousness Survives Physical Death and Reincarnation is Real, solely with the aim of helping people examine the best scientific evidence and come to a conclusion. And I now believe this is a mission in my life. We all reach a point where we face our mortality. And if we do not believe in the afterlife, you know, if we believe that that's it, you know, your body dies, everything dies, that finality is often just too much to bear. I totally understand. I remember talking to a guy that I know not long ago. We were having a Zoom call, very nice guy. And I started to talk to him about death, and he just said, no, let's change the subject. I just don't want to talk about it. He was terrified. So those who have not had those who have had an NDE are transformed. And while we can't all experience that, we can look at the hard evidence with an open mind and come to a conclusion. Life is so much nicer when you know you are more than your physical body. I still wonder where the inspiration came from to write that book. Well, I mean, the dream, where did that dream come from? I wasn't thinking about that at all. I've known for decades that there is an afterlife. So where did it come from? Perhaps it was my mission in life. You know, if you want to make an old man happy, buy that, do the research, come to a conclusion, then give the book to another and ask them to do the same and pass it on when they're done. If you can't afford to buy it, contact me and I'll send you the PDF file for free in return for a promise that you pass it on to someone else and ask them to do the same. That would make me happy. I do love this place. These wide open spaces. Yeah. So, cloudy day. Let's talk a bit more about fear, eh? I think we've all got certain fears. Well, most of us. And, you know, they do hold you back. They do. Fear of losing your job. Fear of losing your partner. Fear of what other people might think if you did this or you didn't do that. Fear is a strange thing. And you can liberate yourself from fear. You can. Sit with it. Sit with it until you're sick of it. And you'll just suddenly see it for what it is. If you repeat a word and you just keep repeating that word over and over again, all of a sudden you reach that point where it sounds ridiculous, like it doesn't have any meaning anymore. What a weird sound. Well, fear's the same. You know, if you keep facing it, keep sitting with it, keep feeling it, analysing it, you'll suddenly realise one day, what the fuck have I been worried about? You know? Trust the universe. If you're a good soul and you have kindness and compassion, trust the universe. Trust the universe. It will always be there for you. We all have a choice to make, don't we? It's service to self or service to others. And you can have a balance of that in your life, of course. Wadikap, Sabaydi Makapi. Wadikap. Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that, you know. You might be afraid of the street dogs. So go and buy a couple of pork sticks one day. Go down there and just feed them once. All you gotta do, man. Next time you go by, they won't bother you. Whatever the fear may be, you know. fear you'll run out of money. You know, you could be over here, you could be 70 years old like me, and you could have a small pension and a little bit of savings, and you'll be thinking, holy fuck, if I need a fucking serious operation in hospital, I'm fucked. What do I do if they do this? What do I do if they change the visa regulations? And what do I do then? And where do I... No, 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 no. Don't let your mind go down those roads. Just think about how wonderful life is, what you've got. And be grateful for it. And guess what? You'll be happy. Doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Unless, of course, you're doing a job you don't like. I can understand that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who watch this who don't really like their job, but they'll stick it out for the pension and the benefits, and they have a plan, a retirement plan. Well, good on you. Stick it out. Yeah, you know, nothing wrong with a bit of discipline. But if it's really that bad, you know, you're only 12 hours away from making a life-changing decision. Yep. Only 12 hours away. And when you look back in your life, like when I look back in my life to when there's positive changes came along, more often than not, that positive change started with a negative. I lost a job, or stopped being friends with the guy who I've been with around for a long time, or something like that, something negative, and then all of a sudden it opens a door. I'm watching these crows, man. Crows are very smart animals. My God, they are. They have their own society. Sitting up on that pole now, 2 of them. Here comes the other 4. I guess they're a necessary part of nature. They probably eat insects around here that get in the rice. I don't know. But these rice fields are beautiful. They really are. They really are. I'm gonna carry on walking now. I'm gonna carry on cycling. Hey. Yeah, we're still running. Swept the street outside the house this morning. That took me half an hour. That was a good exercise. Right, off we go. Right, there's the beautiful fields, eh? Not much of a rice crop apparently, but it looks pretty impressive to me. It certainly does. I spent another half an hour chatting to the Iran guy, the guy with the cows in my other video. I'm going to interview him soon. He's got an interesting life. He'll talk about how he went to Iran and Iraq. I think he did a total of 4 years welding. He's an interesting guy to talk to. So we will be talking to him. The plan is, you see, to just extend my reach every day. That's the plan. I'm sure they didn't have concrete roads last time I was here on this bit. That's what they call progress, eh? I don't know. Yeah, the rice here looks a lot greener. I think they're going to be harvesting in around about, I don't know, January, February. I'm not sure when they do. Comes the pickup. Just got to remember my way. I should have tied a piece of cotton around my waist when I left home. Ah. Well, he's coming this way. All good. I'm also going that way. Right, we go dog territory. Handicap, hello. Hello. He's off. The white dog. Not having any of me. There he goes, look. Yeah, this field's flooded, but that's what the rice need, isn't it? That's what the rice needs. So happy to see this waterlogged rice paddy. That's all good news. That is all good news. Yeah. Beautiful around here. Smells so nice. There's a cow shed with lots of hay, so they're well prepped. I don't think I've been this far yet. Gotta keep remembering which way to go, eh? I think I might stop here for a while. We're not in any rush. We're not in any rush at all. And all those years when I came here for like a week or 4 days, 5 days in the school holidays when I was a teacher, I always knew that one day I'd come to live here. And here I am. Rule number 1, before you squat down anywhere, you got to check that there's no ants. Okay, we're good. Yeah, you got to check that there's no ants. So, cloudy day today. Yeah. I got no pension, by the way. You probably don't know that. I qualified for my pension at the age of 66, nearly 4 years ago. And because I spent most of my young life traveling, I never paid my national insurance. So I just didn't figure I'd get a pension, but it was never in my plan. I hadn't paid in, therefore I don't expect to take out. But a couple of years ago, I was online talking to somebody about it, and they said, oh, you need a minimum of 10 years stamps to get a pension. And I'm like, buddy cab. And I'm like, you're joking. And I checked back as far as I could remember, and I think I got 12 years. So, I think a year ago it was, I sent a registered letter to the place where you're supposed to send it in the UK with a photocopy of my passport requesting my NI number, because I don't have my NI number, you see. Once I get my NI number, I can go online and check to see if I get a pension or not, and see if they will backdate it. One of my friends knows a bit about this, and he says you'll get about 9,000 baht a month, and if they backdate it for 4 years, then you're going to be laughing. But he said you know they might only give you 6 months backdate, but the sooner you get on it, the sooner you get the money. So I figured, well, why not, you know? I don't really want anything off the UK government. I was never really on the dole. I never got any social security support. But if I've paid in, and I have, you know, 12 years of stamps, then I'm entitled to it. So I shall next week be sending another letter, and I'll print so many copies of this form off that every single week on Monday morning I will go to the post office and send it, and I'll just keep doing that until I get an answer. They say on their website you will get your NI number within 15 days. By mail, we're not allowed to give it out on the phone, so I'll just keep doing it. Yeah, just to let you know. So I'm here with no savings, no insurance, no pension. I work month to month just like anybody else. I know there are some of you watching this who would be absolutely fucking terrified. I love it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Because I've done that all my life. I've gone for things and taken risks and done my best and been nice to everybody, and the universe is always there for me, and it always will be. So I stand before you fearless. Totally fearless. And if I get my pension, all well and good. And if I don't, you know what? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Something else we could talk about. I have an exit plan. If I were to get sick, you know, heart problems or something like that, and I needed surgery, I wouldn't go to the hospital. I have an exit plan. I'm serious now. There's no way my wife is spending all what little money we have trying to keep me alive. If I get to the point where I don't want to be here anymore, and there's a big difference between that and being too sick, you know. If I get to the point where I don't want to be here anymore, whatever the reason might be, I have an exit plan. And both my sons know about the exit plan, and they've given me their word that they will help facilitate my exit plan. Don't ask me what it is, because I don't think YouTube would appreciate me sharing details like that. But I'm going out the way I should go out, someone like me, you know. I'm going out on my terms. And because I know that we don't die when the body dies, why the hell should I be worried about it? I'm looking forward to it, partly. I mean, I don't want to leave this place, you know. I love my life. Every day is a blessing. But it's going to end one day. And I'll know when the time is right. I mean, I might be lucky. I might go in my sleep in the middle of the night. That would be nice. But I don't feel it's not my time just yet. I know I look old. I know I'm not I don't look very well physically, but I feel fine. And no, I won't get the weights out anymore, and I won't chug the protein powder. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. The physical just is what it is now. I do daily exercise, and that would be doing some housework and riding the bike, but I'm not doing any more than that. I just enjoy what I do every day now. I'm in a beautiful place. I really am. So, let's go on, eh? Let's go a bit further. Wonder what we'll encounter. I really have no idea what we'll encounter, but we're gonna do it. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Just don't get lost, Wallace. No, I'm alright with that at the moment. There haven't been enough twists and turns yet for me to get lost. This is definitely virgin territory, this here for me. There's a house coming up here. You know that I could even be riding right past my mother-in-law's rice paddies. I really don't know where they are. God knows, obviously. Could be here. This could be her land. I just don't know. There's a water hole there. You know, a farmer out here, if you've got a couple of 4 or 5 rai of land, you could be totally self-sufficient, just like the king of Thailand once said. You know, you have a little pond with your fish, you have your chickens, your ducks, you grow your rice, you grow your vegetables, and you know, you swap stuff with neighbours, and yeah, that would work. You could become totally self-sufficient, especially with the solar tech we got now. Dig yourself a nice well. They do that around here. Dig yourself a nice well, get your solar panels out and your inverter and your batteries. I'm sure there's a lot of people who watch this who are pretty kind of self-sufficient wherever they happen to be in Thailand, you know. Drop me a comment, those guys who do kind of live the rural life. I know there's a few, there's a few that I follow. There's Ricky, there's Lemon in Thailand. Who else is there? There's quite a few. There's quite a few that I know that do that. The guy with the goats, just found him, I forget his name now, he's a Londoner. Nice guy. He's got goats. So yeah, you know, when you think about it, if you've got 300,000 or 400,000 pounds equity in a house in England, you could sell the fucking thing and you could come here, as long as you could lease the land for 30 years, and you could build yourself a lovely farmhouse and set yourself up with a farm. Buddy cap! Don't know that guy. I'm going to stop here now. There's 2 houses here. Oh, there's a few cows over there. Nice pond here, look. Let's go have a look at this. Yeah, you could, you know. 500,000 baht at a push. 500,000 baht, although that would be a push. But a couple of million baht. You know, you could come here and lease the land for 30 plus 30, but build your house, and you own the house. You just don't own the land it sits on. And if you talk to a Thai lawyer, you can pretty much lock it up solid so that you're protected. Buddy cap! He's a way to spray his chemicals, I think. And there's another person going by. Yeah, you know, coming to live here, it wouldn't actually be that hard. You know, I've tried to talk my sister and her husband into doing this. They sold their family house and they had about £500,000 in equity. And I tried to convince them to either come here or go somewhere in southern Europe and just buy a beautiful piece of land and retire. But they downsized and they went and bought this 2-bedroomed house in Northampton. And I mean, you know, I'm not complaining. That's their life. That's what they want. But well, the important thing I'm saying is that's enough money, £500,000. It's enough money to sell everything, come here and start a new life and totally be self-sufficient. You know, you really, really could do that. And the people are great, you know, they really are. I'm going to go a little further. A little further. I think there's a fork in the road, so we'll go a bit further. So here we go. Couple of cows. Oh, we're coming up to a big road, I think. Yeah, we're coming up to a big road here. And I think I know where I am. If I do, I'll go the other way. If I don't, I'll go back the way I came. Now, is this the road I think it is? Ready, cab? I'm not sure. There's a dog having a dump there. Look, I'm sure he will enjoy. Ah, ma? No, you don't want to be my friend. You don't want to be my friend. He's off home. Falang with no teeth. Terrified. I think I know where that road goes. I think. I don't take risks anymore. It's amazing, isn't it, when somebody has had the kind of lifestyle I've had. I mean, I really used to take big risks. Now I won't. I won't take risks because you can't throw a 7 every time. That's the local bus. Yeah, that's the local bus with benches in the back. Wendy cap! I'll get a name around here, I'm sure. Falang Fan Seat, Fan Law. The Falang with no teeth I'll be called, I'm sure. I'm sure I will. Me and the wife are going to the market today. We'll take the car and I shall ask about a snooker hall. I got to ask, you never know, do you? You just never know. I can't see that. Can't see that there wouldn't be one. I'm sure the teenagers and some of the old men like to play. So I'll have a look. So what shall I do? I'll go back. I'll go back now. I'll go back. I'll turn this off here. I think that's enough for this trip. So, yeah. We'll talk later.